All right, today we're going to take a look at a system that's all about dragging construction project management into the modern digital age. It's called DPR Latasha PMC. And you know what? It's really all about answering one simple but incredibly frustrating question.
Yeah, this one. If you've ever set foot on a construction site, I bet you've heard this question a million times. Kitna kaam hua? I mean, it sounds so simple, right? But trying to get a straight, accurate answer to that, it can be a total nightmare every single day.
Because let's be real, the reality for so many people is just chaos. We're talking about a mess of handwritten notes in a manual register that, just disappear. Or those massive, confusing Excel sheets where just one broken formula can throw the entire project off. And the endless WhatsApp updates, a constant stream of messages that are basically impossible to track. It's a system that's just screaming for an upgrade.
Okay, so let's really dig in and break down why that old manual way of doing things is, well, just broken.
The old way really is a recipe for total confusion. Think about it. A simple human error, like writing down the wrong number in a register, that can lead to some seriously costly mistakes down the line. And there's zero real-time tracking, which means you're pretty much always working with old, outdated information. Need to find a record from 6 months back? Yeah, good luck with that. Have fun digging through piles of paper. And the worst part? When you need to show a client how things are going, the reports just look unprofessional. It creates this huge lack of transparency, which is just not good for business.
But what if we could just get rid of all that chaos and replace it with a clean, new, digital blueprint? Well, that's exactly what this kind of smart solution is built to do.
And the mission here is actually pretty simple, but it's really powerful. The idea is to stop trying to patch things up piece by piece. Instead, you integrate everything. We're talking labor, materials, tasks, reporting, all of it into one single, smart, professional dashboard that actually makes sense of it all.
So the engine at the heart of this whole thing is the DPR. That's the Daily Progress Report. The best way to think of it is like the site's digital logbook. Every single day, it captures exactly who worked, what materials got used, and how much progress was made on each task. And it's this daily habit, this discipline, that really powers the accuracy of the whole system.
All right, let's talk about the dashboard. This thing is basically your new command center. Let's see how you can run your entire project right from here.
And here it is. This is the main command center. You get this amazing bird's eye view of all your projects, all on one screen. You can see what's in progress, what's done, and with those really clear progress bars, you immediately know the health of your entire portfolio. No need to open a single spreadsheet or file. And from that big picture view, you can just click and dive deep into any single project. And boom, instantly you get this beautiful, super clear dashboard. See that big chart right in the middle? That's your overall completion percentage. There's no more guesswork. You know for a fact that this project is exactly 91.5% done. And you get a simple breakdown of what's completed versus what's still in progress. But wait, you can go even deeper than that. The system lets you take a big task, like, say, PC, and break it down into all its little subtasks. And then you can track the progress of every single one of those individual subtasks. This makes sure that literally no detail gets missed. And that level of detail, that granularity, that's where you find real control over a project. So it's not just about tracking task percentages. The system is also designed to help you totally master the day-to-day stuff, the logistics happening right there on the ground.
269. What's that? It's the total man days. Now, instead of some poor soul having to manually count and calculate labor costs, the system just automatically adds all this data up. This gives you a super precise, running total for keeping costs in check. But what's even more important is the insight it gives you for planning. Are you overstaffed? Understaffed? With this, you actually know.
And guess what? It does the exact same thing for all your materials. What we're looking at here is basically a live inventory. The system knows you've got 939 bags of cement and 23.1 tons of aggregate just sitting there. And see those visual bars? They tell you at a glance if your stock levels are good to go or if they're running low. That is huge for preventing those super expensive delays that happen when you run out of materials. So, you might be wondering, how does all this data even get into the system? Well, it's actually really simple. Your site engineer just logs in securely, they pop in the labor count for the day, record whatever materials were used, and update the percentage on any tasks they worked on. And that's it. Seriously. The system then automatically generates that professional daily progress report. Done.
Okay, so having all this powerful data is great, but it's pretty useless if it's not secure, or if you can't present it in a way that makes sense, right? So let's talk about reporting and who gets to see what.
Now, this part is absolutely crucial. The system has what's called role-based user management. So think of it like this. The admin, they can see and control everything. An engineer on site, they can update progress, but that's about it. And a client, you can give them special view-only access, so they can see the reports and stay in the loop. The bottom line is, you control exactly who sees what, which keeps your data secure and makes sure it's being shared the right way.
And when it comes time to actually share that data, you can forget about wrestling with an Excel sheet, trying to get the formatting right. Nope. With just one click, the system spits out a clean, professional, A4 formatted report. It's perfect for those big client meetings, for audits, or pretty much any official submission you can think of.
So when you step back and put all of this together, what does this big transformation from a manual system to a smart one really look like?
Well, this little comparison table pretty much says it all, doesn't it? A manual system is pure guesswork. An Excel system is, still manual and way too complex. But the DPR system, you get automatic calculations and live tracking. And here's the kicker. Things like role-based access and those professional reports, they're basically impossible with the old ways. Here, they're just standard built-in features.
So the real question is, what does all this mean for the business? What's the bottom line? Well, it means way better cost control, because you finally have accurate data on your labor and materials. It means you can make decisions faster because you can see what's happening in real time. And maybe most importantly, it just projects a much more professional image, which builds trust and transparency with your clients.
So at the end of the day, a system like this is more than just a piece of software. It's really a fundamental shift in how a project gets done. It literally converts a traditional, old-school construction site into a smart, digital, and totally transparent environment for every single person involved.
And that really leaves us with just one last question to think about. In a world where pretty much every other industry is using data and digital tools to get smarter and more efficient, is your project management still stuck in the past?